Welcome to this explainer. Relying solely on historical customer data, it's rapidly becoming a losing strategy for modern enterprises. So we're going to unpack this fundamental shift toward AI-driven intelligence. Let's look at exactly why basic data tracking just isn't cutting it anymore, and how top companies are moving from merely archiving what happened in the past to actively predicting what happens next.
There's a great saying for this. Data tells you what happened. Intelligence tells you why it happened and what will happen next. Think of raw customer data like looking in your rearview mirror. Sure, it's great to see what just happened on the road behind you, but it doesn't really help you navigate, right? Customer intelligence powered by AI is like a predictive GPS. It takes those patterns, it takes intent signals, and it maps out exactly what's coming on the road ahead so you can make proactive decisions.
So why the urgency? Well, consider this projection from Gartner. By 2025, organizations that actually invest in customer intelligence are going to outperform their peers by 20% in revenue growth. Making this transition isn't just some nice-to-have IT upgrade, it's a massive, quantifiable competitive advantage. Falling behind here literally means leaving a fifth of your potential growth on the table for your competitors to just swoop in and take. And the crazy part? The benefits are immediate. McKinsey highlights that closing this intelligence gap with AI-driven personalization can deliver an instant 10 to 15% revenue uplift. When you're operating at an enterprise scale, getting a 10 to 15% bump simply by anticipating what your customers need before they even know they need it, that's an absolute game changer.
Today, we're breaking this down into 5 quick parts. First, the intelligence gap. Second, data versus intelligence. Third, building the AI pipeline. Fourth, banking and insurance applications. And finally, Segmetriq's enterprise solution. Okay, part 1, the intelligence gap, the cost of inaction. We really have to start by acknowledging a painful truth in the modern business world. Almost every enterprise out there has absolutely abundant data. But, very few actually have answers. We call this the intelligence gap. It's that huge void between simply collecting massive volumes of customer records, like clicks and purchases, and actually having the AI infrastructure required to convert those records into actionable, predictive intelligence. Honestly, this critical gap between merely hoarding information and actively making proactive decisions, that is exactly where your market dominance is either won or lost.
Moving on to part 2, data versus intelligence, the fundamental shift. The difference between descriptive tracking and predictive action is pretty stark. Standard customer data, that's your what happened. We're talking transactions, basic demographics, clicks, and static CRM records. It's entirely descriptive. But when we apply behavioral models and AI context, we get customer intelligence. This is what happens next. Instead of just knowing a customer clicked a link, you're predicting their intent. Instead of just seeing past purchases, you're predicting their lifetime value. You're getting churn predictions, next best offer recommendations, risk scoring. It's a complete shift from passive observation to active anticipation. Part 3, building the AI pipeline, the engine under the hood. Here's the thing. AI is really only as powerful as the foundational data infrastructure sitting underneath it. According to IBM, organizations with mature data pipelines achieve a 3 times faster time to insight compared to folks stuck relying on manual data processes. In a market where agility is absolutely everything, having an automated, intelligent pipeline means you're reacting to market shifts in customer behaviors days or even weeks faster than the competition. So what does that actually look like? Well, a mature end-to-end data pipeline involves a 7-step journey. It starts by extracting raw sources, like your CRM, web, and mobile data, and moving them through automated ETL pipelines. That stands for extract, transform, load, by the way. Those go directly into centralized storage, like a data lake or warehouse. Now, step 4 is absolutely crucial: running data quality and validation checks. You simply cannot train good AI on bad data. Then, at step 5, the machine learning models kick in, training and scoring that data. This outputs the customer intelligence in step 6, those churn and intent predictions we just talked about, which ultimately drives the big business decisions in step 7, optimizing your personalization, risk management, and overall growth. All right, part 4, banking and insurance applications, intelligence in action. Now let's see this in the real world. For the banking and insurance sectors, applied machine learning happens directly on the front lines. Think about an enterprise claim fraud detection analytics dashboard. With this, insurers don't have to sit around waiting weeks for manual audits. AI models, which are trained on historical data, actively spot visual anomalies and detect claim fraud patterns in real time. By connecting the dots between complex historical data points and live, incoming claims, insurance companies can flag high-risk claims instantly. We're talking about saving millions in operational costs and stopping fraudulent payouts before the money ever even leaves the account.
And the measurable impact across the entire financial spectrum, it's profound. In retail banking, institutions use this intelligence to predict loan conversion probabilities. So instead of blasting out generic loan offers, they personalize pre-approved offers to the exact customers most likely to convert. That massively increases approval rates. For non-banking financial companies, or NBFCs, customer intelligence lets them prioritize collections by generating payment propensity scores. Basically, you focus your collection efforts on those actually capable and likely to pay, which drastically reduces delinquency and cuts operational costs. And in the super fast-paced fintech space, behavioral signals and transaction histories drive highly accurate next best product recommendations. This ensures the exact right financial product is placed in front of the right user at the perfect moment. By predicting operational risk early and knowing what a customer needs before they do, the financial sector is turning raw numbers into tremendous ROI.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Segmetriq's Enterprise Solution, your modern data stack.
Now, building all of this from scratch internally, that is a monumental task. But a solution like Segmetriq Analytics delivers an end-to-end modern data stack right out of the box. It provides AI-powered ETL for those automated, intelligent pipelines, all built on a scalable, cloud-native architecture. But it's way more than just infrastructure. This approach gives you ready-to-deploy predictive models for churn, lifetime value, and next best offers. And, especially in heavily regulated industries like banking and insurance, rigorous data governance is key. This ensures your data quality, lineage, and compliance are meticulously maintained at scale. It's exactly the kind of solution that transforms raw business data into smarter decisions with rock-solid enterprise-grade security. So, as we wrap up this explainer, remember this. The shift from tracking the past to predicting the future, it's no longer optional in today's landscape. So take a close look at your own operations and ask yourself, are you just building an expensive archive of what happened yesterday? Or are you actively engineering your success by predicting exactly what your customers will do tomorrow?